just waiting for the fighters to get ready. So quick was Zverev with that left hand that he's caught everybody on that. You physically can't get them to the ring from the changing rooms in that space of time, but they're coming.
The good thing about Zverev is, they'll be fast-tracked, and that bantamweight or super bantamweight, wherever he decides to fight, a great divisions right now.
Well, we're going to see a Scottish two-weight world champion Paul Weir in Stephen Tiffany's corner tonight, Barry. Of course, plenty of our viewers will know Lomachenko, who won a world title in his third pro fight, and guys like Zverev and maybe even Sultan Zarbek. I think he'll be taken along more steadily, the guy we're going to see, Zarbek. But we've commentated on him 3 times ringside. We've been impressed with him so far.
No, we have been impressed with him. I think he's another guy who takes his time, generates that good space to throw some quality work.
This is his opponent tonight. That's Chen Gong Tao, Chinese. He's physically strong, bit older and experienced, and
ladies and gentlemen,
he might provide a test.
Please welcome Sultan Zarbek.
Sultan Zarbek has come from the conveyor belt of amateur talent that is available in Kazakhstan right now. One of the real coming forces in that game worldwide in boxing, and he's been fast-tracked. He's had 5 fights since October. This is his 6th tonight. He's getting plenty of opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for 6 rounds in a lightweight contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He officially weighed in at 134.5 pounds with a professional record of 7 wins, 1 by way of knockout, 5 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, from China, Cheng Hong Tao. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner. He officially weighed in at 132.5 pounds with a professional record of 5 wins, 3 by way of knockout, and no losses. From Kazakhstan, please welcome Sultan Zarbek. Referee Vasily Moravin will now give his instructions to the boxers.
Hi guys. In cleaner match, okay? Cleaner bout, okay? Good luck for you. Please.
The big question here is, how strong and tough is Cheng Gong Tao? He did go 10 rounds, lost by a split decision back in China in January. He looks muscular and solid. He shouldn't be good enough to trouble Sultan Zarbek, but can he take him some rounds? Because what we know about this young 22-year-old, he's so young, particularly talented. The left hand is a weapon, Barry, and what he's got a little bit of devil about him. And when you and I have seen him several times ringside in the last few months, it's the left hand to the body which has been his most potent weapon.
And what he has, what all good fighters have, and what all potentially good fighters have as well, is great judgment of distance and good timing. And they outdo speed and strength every time. And he has that in the locker. Sometimes he waits a little bit too long to do his work, and he can be a little bit too methodical. But when he is switched on, as we've seen in the past, he's very, very impressive.
And he's got
very accurate also. Sorry.
He's always smiling and joking around sort of backstage and out of the ring, but he's got a little bit of a wicked streak once he gets in there. And he just made Tao blink with that long left hand.
Lovely.
There it goes again, and look how wide the stare back was from Tao, the 28-year-old. A little bit of blood coming from his nose now as that strong jab gets through, and this is a serious start from Zarbek.
Well, however strong Tao is, what he is so easy to hit. That head's up in the air. There's no head movement either. It's very static, isn't it? So it's there to be hit every time.
Swinging a bit wildly, you can see the blood streaming from that nostril. And it's good to see Zarbek working behind the jab, more so than we've seen him previously.
Well, they come from an amateur system where the jab wasn't a real weapon. It was like a sword fencing type of thing. They'd swing it along. It was all about, they called it backhands in the amateur game, left hands or right hands. But in the professional game especially, you need a good solid jab to push people back and to get your judgment and your timing and your distance, more importantly, for the bigger shots.
Slight culture change in recent years in the amateur game, elite boxing, and I think the World Series of Boxing and the APB as well has been part of that. The 5 and 10 round distance,
and the scoring,
things like body shots can come into play.
And scrapping computer scoring as well. That's helped, of course.
And of course, Lomachenko, probably the best amateur of the last couple of decades. He had that experience of the World Series boxing too.
Yeah, it gives you a fast track once you turn over to the pro games, because you've technically been a pro anyway, haven't you?
Mind you, Lomachenko's so good, he probably could have done it any way he wanted and continue to do so. Up against Anthony Crawler, of course, next.
Nice bright start here though from Zäurbek.
Well, it's a bonus getting to see Zäurbek tonight, and he's treating us to an excellent opening first round. Well, it's been a hard round so far already, wasn't it, for Tao? He's been bloodied. The good thing is to see the accuracy from Zäurbek. He's been all business.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, it's not hard to find a target here with Tao, because he's just, his head's in the air and he's a static target every time. But Zäurbek's still happy to throw that left hand from the southpaw stance quite far out. And
Barry, I mean, you remember back to earlier on in your career, but being the live TV float, the swing fight, the guy sort of waiting behind the stage to come on, maybe or maybe not.
Of course, sometimes you don't get the fight at all. It's very frustrating, but you have to be ready all the time, so you're constantly loosening up, warming up, ready to be chucked in at the last minute, which is what's happened to Zäurbek. But also what's happened to Tao.
Royal presence here tonight, ringside in Dubai for what is an historic occasion for everyone concerned, bringing the fights to a global audience from this particular part of the world. And let's hope it's just the start. Next up, we're going to have a Dubai fighter, or an Emirati, making his professional debut. That's after this bonus of Sultan Zäurbek looking to win for the 6th successive time. He's been pretty busy with Angel Fernandez down at the Raptors gym in Sutton, just in the suburbs of London. And that in itself, Barry's he's away from his family in Shymkent. He's not getting back to Kazakhstan all that often. He really is. It's a kind of mental part of the game as much as it is the physical and technical side.
It can have effects where all your focus, your sole focus is boxing. That's all you've got, live and breathe. And it'll also be a very frustrating, and lonely journey also. And it's all down to it suits the individual. Everyone's different. Some people need that home comfort to be happy, to train better. Some people need to be locked away and moody and be others, no distractions around them to get the best out of them. What I'd like to see there from Zäurbek though is that when he pivots on that front foot, just a sharper turn so he's closer to the target, so we can go again with the next attack, with the second phase of attacks. A little bit of a lacing issue there with the glove, with the boot there of Zäurbek. But if he takes a pivot just a little bit sharper and faster, close to the target, then he fires another combination in, and it puts Tao under even more pressure.
This is the best his jabs looked so far as a fledgling pro, Zäurbek.
That's what he does well, that lean back right hook with the southpaw stance, and then just turns on the front foot as well.
He's starting to beat Tao up. He's starting to clip him. A few hooks going in. There's another one left hand. I think he knows it.
Oh, that's a little sneaky left hook back though there from Tao.
Yeah, he's finding it hard though, Barry. His mouth's open. Body shot just went in there, and you fancy Zäurbek, if he carries on in this vein, there's a live chance of getting him out of there. Look at Tao, he's trying to come forward. He's trying to give it a go. He's just not quite good enough to make any of it effect.
It's a good shot there from Zäurbek. Well, there's no intelligence to his work, Tao, at the minute, so it's quite easy to time him coming forward.
And And MTK getting lots of experience into Zəurbek, but also lots of sort of opportunities. You know, here he is on this bill in Dubai. He was on that Jordan Gill Peterborough bill on a sort of another promoter show back in March as well. I think he's starting to get through more regularly. Heavy shots starting to land in that round from Zəurbek.
When it's close on you, turn on him. Don't do his fight. Keep that distance. Relax, relax. Let him come to you. He's waiting for you. Yeah? Keep that distance. Water? Keep that distance.
We heard Angel Fernandez. You heard Angel Fernandez in that Zəurbek corner. It's slightly critical of him, just suggesting that there's plenty of opportunity to let Tau come to Zəurbek and then find his shots. But I thought he was getting through even more impressively in that round.
He was, but he also, they know in the corner they got a guy here who's tailor-made for him, a guy who comes forward with, you know, with an open target. The arms are wide open, the head doesn't move. So for someone like Zəurbek, who literally just for some reason took a pivot on the front foot and turned his back there on Tau, but he just, you know, he'd be quite comfortable to time his shots with Tau coming forward.
We haven't seen the body shots yet. That was the one thing. We've seen it in 2 of his fights, Barry, where he actually waits for the attack. And this guy should be tailor-made for that. Waits for the attack and then really thrusts, almost that uppercut body shot with the left hand.
I think it's because the head's so inviting, but it's there. It's a big head, let's be honest, and it's there in front of him. So it's a clear target to aim for.
And he's not missing. So in a sense, why change it?
Good shot.
And again.
But just single shots up from Zəurbek. He's winning everything, so we're being critical of a guy who's dominating, but just single shots, but he can just rattle off the combinations a little bit more.
He's got fellow Kazakh, fellow Southpaw, Nurtas Ashbanov in the same gym as well. You think they've done plenty of sparring. Big Isaac Chamberlain's in that gym as well, Barry, too, but I don't know if he'd be sparring Chamberlain. No. About 6 weight divisions above.
If they both get in together in spar. The cruiserweight Chamberlain.
Apparently Wilder has often done that. Deontay, isn't he? 2 or 3 people inside the ropes at the same time.
What?
Well, this is a classy amateur now translating to the pro game in Zəurbek. He was high up in the youth ranks back in 2014. Silver medalist in that competition. He was Asian champion as well. And actually, that 2014 tournament, the World Championships, Barry, that youth thing, the fly division was won by certain Shakur Stevenson, who's been in the news recently.
He's planting his feet now, though, Alex. Here's Zəurbek, some lovely punches from him there. And again, he's not rattling them off in combinations, but they're coming quick after one another. They're single shots, but they're quick after each other.
Tau is getting hammered. He is bloodied too. That was a big round for Zəurbek. Doesn't look like the Tau corner at any rush to take him out.
They're not going to pull him out. But it was a great finish from Zäurbek there. I thought really he's picking his punches well, and even though he wasn't rattling off the combination like I was asking for, he picking his shots, but they were in quick succession after each other, and digging his feet into the canvas, getting a bit more purchase on the punches as well. That little flurry of shots to finish the round, and again dominating.
That's good. Relax. Big deep breath.
There's Paul Weir,
That's
Scotland's two-weight world champion, applying the Vaseline to Zäurbek.
Round 4.
Into round 4, scheduled for 6. This one, it's getting a bit harder for Chen Gongtao. He's been ploughing forward repeatedly, but picked off, and the shots have been getting more accurate and harder in the last round and a half. There's that body shot that I was asking for from Zäurbek.
And also better from Zäurbek there, because he's trying to get some uppercuts into place, so just different angles of attacks from the punches. Just different, a little bit more variety in his work there. Keep Tao guessing and panicking where the next shots are coming from. He clearly takes a good shot, and he obviously dines out on that. I think that's what he plays, and he can walk through you.
And he's also been 10 rounds just a couple of months ago as well, so we know he has that kind of fitness level in the bank. And
you can imagine it was 10 rounds of him walking through punches as well to land his own. So
body shots now coming in from Zäurbek belatedly. It's been a bit of win one, lose one for Tao, his last half dozen fights.
It's nice footwork there from Zäurbek there, lovely spinning around the target. Again, what we were talking about earlier, a sharper turn. Just went a little bit too far maybe to counter it again, to go another phase of attack, but it was a good little move.
And by and large, so far, very early on in his career, Zäurbek, he has been fighting kind of between super feather, largely lightweight. That he's a few pounds north, I think, of where he's going to be. We're suspecting it's going to be super feather, Barry.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got to make it safely the weight, of course, but you want to be the biggest you can for the lightest weight you possibly can.
Not a million miles in divisions from the likes of Shakur Stevenson and Michael Conlon, whose brother Jamie's ringside tonight, who won just the other week. Conlon looking to get that professional revenge match with Nikitin, isn't he?
Not a cut. I think Nikitin is not ready for him yet, though, in my opinion. It's good there from Zäurbek. I was just about to say, he just took his foot off the pedal a little bit, but that was a nice little two-punch combination there from him.
And you just sense that Tao, because of the punishment and the shots that he has taken clean throughout the 4 rounds so far, just started to slow down a bit.
But Zäurbek's winning, he's winning comfortable, and he's boxing really well. But can you see where you could criticise the one pace slightly, where he wants to just be comfortable at his own pace and not go through the gears a little bit quicker than he possibly could?
Little flurry, couple of shots landing. It's one-way traffic for Zäurbek. Dubai Uncovered from the Emirates Golf Club, presented to you by Ahmed A. Siddiqui and Round 10 Boxing, in association with MTK Global and Top Rank Promotions. We are live on ESPN Plus and IFL TV. Breaking new ground in Dubai tonight. Let's hope this is the first of many. And this guy, Sultan Zäurbek, getting his advice from Angel Fernandez.
Well, we just seen that in the first replay, a lovely combination. It was a beautiful body shot and then a punch over the top there. Just showing that he has that variety. Maybe he doesn't show it enough. He shows some beautiful one-punch skills. Let's talk about beautiful. Look at that for a beautiful, beautiful, fantastic view from here. We can see that now, Alex. We look up and that's what we see.
Here at the Emirates Golf Club. Prestigious environment to be hosting professional boxing tonight. Fantastic scenery and setup, and I think so many of the fighters on the bill tonight, every single one of them have been spurred on by the occasion and the opportunity.
There's something, just fighting outdoors, there's something special about it. I don't know why, wherever it may be, but there is. I fought outdoors a couple of times as an amateur and as a pro, but outdoors it has that aura. Well, maybe because it goes back to, you know, the days where there were no rings.
And for the Brits and the Irish, sort of, we're used to sort of stadium fights when it's an outdoor event. You know, football, soccer grounds, football grounds. We don't have, a bit like the Americans would have the StubHub Centre.
Yeah, of course,
we don't really have those kind of sort of slightly smaller outside areas to watch boxing. They're fantastic looking occasions.
Oh,
what a shot! He's out, almost out straight and cold. The referee dispenses with the count. It was the right hand that did it, and Zäurbek is across celebrating the other side of the ring. What an explosive conclusion to this one.
And he came out with a little bit more intent, like he was just planting his feet a little bit more with the early combinations in that round. And he just seemed, like I was sort of not criticised, just saying sometimes you can just be a little bit too one-paced, where you can see you got plenty of gears to go through, and he'll need that as he steps up in levels. But the way he picks his punches, his accuracy, and he never loads up. Look at that, he's not loading up there. That's just good body mechanics, turning from the waist there, good technique in that shot, and for a guy who can take a shot, couldn't take that one tonight. So that was a fantastic right hook there from Zäurbek.
Well, he landed a left hand just 2 shots before it. He missed with a follow-up left hand, but he came through it. It's the acceleration of the shots as you pick up the sequence, Barry.
Is there a bonus tonight? You can get the most impressive knockout?
Do you know what we do have? I'm hearing we may well have a Fighter of the Night award, and Sultan Zäurbek has just put his name in the hat. What a knockout that was. He really did quicken into the right hand, and he got the result. Suddenly, belatedly, we got that little bit of devil that I spoke about. Fantastic finish from Zäurbek. Let's get confirmation of it now.